So far, I've got my movement loop inside a forever loop, and this time I need to look at getting my reset position in. So I need to find a place where the sprite can start. So I need to find a place where he's not touching any walls. So I think there's probably a good place for him to start the maze. I could have him start it outside, but that might encourage people to go the wrong way. So I'm going to put him there as a start location. I can see that gives me the coordinates of minus 172, 139. So that's suddenly quite an important command. I'm going to go over to this side here, and I've got the command go to, and it's pre-filled in with those coordinates. Because I've moved my sprite around, it's filled it in on the side. So I've got minus 172, 139 as a coordinate. I want to put that in above my forever loop because I want that to happen every time I click the green flag. So I'll drag that across. I can just pop it in there. I can just test out that works. So if I plump him over there, when I hit the green flag, he should come back home. Brilliant. I'll just test it again just for good measure. Great. So I know that that's now working. I also need to build myself an if-then loop. So I'll go across to control, I'll pick an if-then loop, and one of the outcomes I want from this if-then loop is I want him to go back to that location. So I'll go to minus 172, 139. So if something happens, he'll go back to that location. So I can get him back there by clicking the green flag, and I can get him back there if something happens. Now we're looking at that, I've got a sensing block there. So I'll go across to sensing, and I've used touching mouse pointer or things like that. I've also got an option of touching color. I've already used the key press for my commands over here, but this touching color is very powerful. So if I bring that across and drop that into the hole there, so if touching that pink shade, it will go to that location. That's brilliant, but there's no pink on the map. Now, the thing I don't want him touching are the walls on the map, and the walls are all black. Remember, when I added little bits earlier, I made sure they stayed black. So I click on that, and I've just got to create the exact shade of black. If it's ever so slightly different, computers will do exactly what they're told to. So if I make it one shade of black different to the black on there, it won't register. That sounds quite a tricky trial and error task. Luckily, we've got the pipette down here. So if we click on the pipette, then we can click on, we've got a little targeter, and I'm going to click on something that is black. There we go. Now, luckily, all the black lines are the same color on here, so that means all the black is sorted. It's put that black in there, so I've now got a command that reads, if touching black color, then go to that location. Now, if I put that side inside my forever loop, that means that forever, at any point, if he touches anything black, he'll go back to the beginning, and if I click the green flag, he'll go back to the beginning. So let's just test it. I'll turn my code on, and I'm going to deliberately run him into a wall. There we go. As soon as I run into the wall, it's sending me back to that location straight away. So my code now works. That is the bits of code I need to add in. Obviously, I'm going to be adding more later on to these loops, so it's worth keeping them where I can see them. But for now, I've got a game that works. Again, test it, make sure that it's working before you're ready to move on. You need to make sure that all the elements work and it doesn't jump you back. One to really watch out for is embedding this inside another if-then loop by accident. You can see there it's embedded. That will cause you problems. So keep it outside, but it's inside the forever loop. Also make sure that this location that you're sending him back to isn't touching a black line. Because if that location you're sending him back to is touching a black line, he'll be just stuck in a feedback loop where he keeps touching a black line, has to go back to a start, but then straight away he'll have to go back to the start and you'll never get anywhere. That would be a massive glitch and could potentially be a game breaker. There you go.